Hipkins and Swarbrick, stop trying to destroy New Zealand. Let's learn something together, for a better New Zealand for everyone. The British had an enormous amount of superior firepower at their disposal compared to the natives. The 1840s were a transitional period in terms of firearms technology. The long reign of the flintlock musket drawing to an end, and percussion cap mechanisms were coming to the fore. The British Army started to issue percussion cap muskets in 1839. The new mechanism had several advantages over the flintlock variety. It was much more reliable and there wasn't a flint to wear out after 20 or so shots. When it came to hand-to-hand fighting, the British also had a very significant advantage over their opponents. The troops had bayonets whereas the Maori generally did not, instead using hatchets or traditional club-like weapons. The British had a major advantage of quality over quantity. They could turn the playing field into lions running from an angry bull elephant, or people panicking at the sound of gunshots. The Maori were like lions, fierce, brutal, violent killers gorging on human flesh. But they were nonetheless no match for the big bull British warriors. The British colonizers chose not to conquer and kill the inhabitants of New Zealand. Instead, they chose to embrace the Maori inhabitants, treat them as British subjects, pass on massive colonization benefits and knowledge, which Maori embraced wholeheartedly, as they still do to this very day. In return, the Maori inhabitants signed a treaty which ceded absolutely to the British Crown, a complete legally binding cession, which also still holds true to this very day.
189 years ago, He Whakaputanga was signed. And 5 years after that, Te Tiriti o Waitangi. At a point in time where Māori outnumbered Pākehā in this country at 40-1. So this is something that I ask all of my parliamentary colleagues and directly, if I may, Mr. Prime Minister. I know it's not question time, but I think that this is something that I would love your reflection upon, is whether you believe, as the leader of this country, Māori ceded sovereignty.
It is utterly nonsensical wishful thinking to reason that the British would, having such a huge quality fighting advantage, seek to partnership with Maori, who had a massively inferior quantity fighting disadvantage. Lions running from elephants, people running from guns, assets for peace were on the agenda, not partnerships. What on earth was there for the British to enter into partnership over?
The idea that 2,000 Europeans here in this country, surrounded by 100,000 warlike natives, fiercely independent, managed to prevail on them, that they would surrender the ability to govern themselves, that just doesn't even make sense.
But they did.
No, that's what people say they did.
That's what happened.
So that's
were you
that's
or were you not colonised?
Both parties knew what was going on, and knew exactly what they were getting in exchange for the treaty. This was a peaceful treaty settlement whereby the Maori inhabitants not only got to live, they got the opportunity to turn their standard of living from violent misery into a comparatively much better world of living in luxury with a much longer lifespan. In return, the British acquired New Zealand by peaceful legally binding cession. It's about time that Chris Hipkins and Chloe Swarbrick stopped trying to destroy New Zealand, and rapidly learnt how to embrace one country, with one people, and one vote, and learn the true facts, that Maori ceded sovereignty, a complete legally binding cession. One country, one people and one vote. It's going to happen, like it, or lump it. Thank you for listening. Geraint, on behalf of WhangareiTim.